And why are the butterflies our guides? Well, because they want to be Sealies when they grow up.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 strongest Genshin Impact characters.
Inazuma shines eternal!
For this list, we'll be looking at the strongest playable characters you can add to your party according to DPS tier lists from the miHoYo action role-playing game. Are you lucky enough to have any of these characters? Are there any overpowered builds that we missed? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Diluc.
Modest and refined, yet quick to act whenever Mondstadt faces a crisis.
Kicking off our list is the former member of the Knights of Favonius, Diluc. He sports the Pyro element, one of the most offensive elements in the game. But what sets Diluc apart from other fire characters is his Dawn Elemental Burst ability. After the Claymore user engulfs a large area in flames, he imbues his weapon with the Pyro element, allowing for repeat elemental reaction triggers, bumping up that damage, especially if used right.
実にいい力だ。らしくないね。
Plus, he's got incredible interruption capabilities, meaning you can shield break and literally beat your foes into a corner. Couple that with a crit rate that increases with Ascension, and you'll be glad to have this nobleman on your side. Number 9. Raiden Shogun.
At mortal joys and woes, and sees a world mired in impermanence.
Given that several playable characters are vessels of gods in the Genshin Impact universe, you won't be surprised there are a couple on this list. Raiden Shogun is the vessel of Beelzebul, the Electro Archon and God of Eternity, who is eternally badass. With a high energy recharge rate, passive electro damage, and some excellent buff chain opportunities, Raiden is a viable main DPS.
Inazuma shines eternal!
But as you acquire some characters higher on this list, she quickly swaps into a significant sub-DPS support role. Paired with the right fighters, Raiden greatly increases energy regen and elemental burst damage for the whole group. If you work your combinations right, Raiden fills a slot on many teams nicely. Number 8. Zhao.
Xiao is a name seldom heard, and as the few who have seen him can attest, he appears only when grave danger is nigh.
The Adepti are a group of magical beings and gods alike, and Zhao lives up to his status. His element is easily adaptable to various enemies. Couple that with incredible speed, the reclusive polearm user can quickly close the gap in distance and power from an early level. But while you might get carried away plunging at enemies from the sky, you have to watch that HP, as it gets drained to boost his output. While he might seclude himself from the general public, he isn't shy when kicking ass.
When Xiao goes into battle, danger follows in his wake. To avoid harming others, he acts quickly, completing the task at hand as efficiently as possible.
Number 7. Ayaka.
When you strike, be quick as lightning, cold as ice.
With elegance and grace, the eldest daughter of the Kamisato clan glides onto our list as an excellent cryo sword fighter. With a high base crit damage rate and passive attack buffs, unleashing Ayaka on any stubborn enemy will even the odds as your main DPS.
雪纷飞，冰吹雪。
As you scale her constellations, pairing levels 1 and 6 drastically increases her destructive output, making her easily one of the best ice fighters out there. Adding a good support hero is always advised with these heavy hitters. Once you can properly manage your stamina and elemental energy, Ayaka becomes a trump card worthy of her legacy.
Oh, was I hitting too hard? It seems I still have room to improve.
Number 6. Venti.
That of which traveled among the gods. That of which beheld lands undone, seas spun.
While they might be a free-spirited bard with a love of the local taverns, Venti is easily one of the strongest ranged characters currently available. Being the god of the wind element, Venti is a sponge for energy, recharging incredibly fast. As a result, you'll be dealing out vast clumps of AoE damage one after the other, even whenever you've just unlocked him. Venti's Skyward Sonnet and Wind Rider make the player very mobile, meaning bailing out of dangerous situations is a breeze. You'll be scooping up energy, dealing out damage, while remaining as light as a feather with this party member. Number 5. Kazuha.
And the last line.
If there is one wandering samurai to have on your team, Kaidahara Kazuha certainly slices through the competition. While Venti might be the vessel for the Wind Archon, Kazuha crept up and usurped him as the most desirable damage-dealing air element party member.
御风而行，呵，
He can basically do what Venti can, but more affordably, efficiently controlling crowds with his spammable elemental skill. On top of practically being a battery for energy recharge, his passive swirl damage as a sub-DPS also makes him an excellent support character. So when you're trying to maximize damage on a DPS team, Kazuha will always be a strong contender. Number 4. Zhongli.
This is an age of gods and monsters. I wish not for dominion. Yet I cannot watch the common folk suffer.
As the game's later updates hit the servers, the Geo element saw one of the most significant damage buffs. And of course, what other Geo user would you pick to have in your party than the vessel for the Geo Archon himself, Zhongli?
Use the elemental shield created by Crystallize to help your party survive.
While he might have some relatively low regular attack numbers, you won't be short on Geo to deal out his excellent stackable skills, petrifying enemies with his elemental burst while creating shields to buff your HP, plus draining elemental energy off his enemies so he can repeatedly damage over a huge area? Damn, Zhongli! What other tricks are you hiding in that long coat? Number 3. Hu Tao.
Come with me. I'm Hu Tao, Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor Director. Let me help you cross over.
As the Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor Director, it's this woman's business to put people on the ground. But given she's one of the most potent pyro characters, it's more like she's cremating her enemies. Her character is entirely focused on those high destruction numbers, making her one of the most effective boss killers in Genshin Impact. What she lacks in diverse area of effect abilities, she makes up for with her stupidly lofty damage. But you have to be careful, as her elemental skill drains her HP to deal out those big numbers. Imagine being so powerful that you have to be careful not to destroy yourself.
Adventurers are our VIP clients after all. We even have coupons for you.
Number 2. Eula.
This was once part of a ceremony for aristocrats to show off their stature. Now it's just a private pastime.
As soon as she burst onto the scene, this cryo powerhouse was dealing staggering amounts of damage, sometimes as high as 5 million in a single instance. While she might have some high energy costs and long elemental cooldowns, you're not partying up with the niece of Schubert for the extended plays.
If this attack consumes Grimheart stacks, it will decrease the physical and cryo resistance of surrounding enemies.
She's downright brutal dealing with mods. Plus, the Grimheart talent means that once she starts attacking, barely anything can interrupt her. Even without spending mountains of cash, Eula is one of the strongest characters in the game. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Bennett. Spammable buff bursts makes Bennett a solid addition to any team. Child. Switching between melee and ranged is very satisfying as a pure DPS Hydro user.
His normal attack can combo up to 6 consecutive shots. Charging the attack executes a more precise shot that deals increased damage.
Mona. Easily covers the battlefield with Hydro damage and status effects.
She masters the battlefield with ease, controlling the situation and creating openings for her teammates to attack.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Ganyu.
Sweet flower, so called because of its high sugar content.
While she might serve as an emissary for the Liyue Qixing, she might as well be the Queen of Ice. While she might sport some low HP, utilizing her distance as a bow user means that won't be much to worry about. Her biggest strength comes from her severe damage with charged attacks alone, sometimes reaching 6 digits in quick succession if appropriately stacked. Plus, her skill and elemental burst are nothing to laugh at, allowing for excellent crowd control. All this combines into an incredibly flexible character, making her the most valuable DPS character you could have on your team.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.